BF Day proudly presents Mr. M's Math Class.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 18 of Mr. M's Math Class. We have a lot to cover today, and the format's going to be a little different. I'm just going to quickly tell you about it. We're going to have an estimation, so that'll be normal. I'll do a new math exploration, and that'll be really the heaviest content for today. There will be a new coloring sheet and new Kenken. I'm not going to show you those. They'll just know that they'll be in the email and on Schoology as well. And then the biggest chunk of today's episode is going to be the student interviews, and we have a lot more than last week. And so just be ready for that. That's going to be a big chunk, about 20 minutes of student interviews. And then I'm not going to have any pictures of you or silly pictures of me. I actually didn't get too many this week for this episode, and so did get a few, but I'm going to save those for Tuesday's episode. So as you notice in the interviews, a lot of kids say that they love seeing each other, but I think I only got like 2 pictures of kids looking at episodes. So parents, in the next few days, if you can send me pictures of your kids doing math, or just silly pictures of them or silly pictures of me from this episode, please send them my way. Because you'll see in the interview and from interviews from last week, a lot of kids really love seeing each other. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Cece's estimation 180. She is the person that created our estimation, and the question she asks is, how many red and blue tiles are in this pile? All right, for the math exploration, we're going to continue talking about powers of 10, and so I'm going to change the camera angle in a moment. But just know that I'm going to go over a quick string. I'm going to go over a few questions from one of your worksheets, but you will have a total of 4 worksheets for this one. You only had 1 in the last one, and so I ramped it up a little bit for this week, or for this episode. And so just be ready for that.
Hi, everybody. Just know that in the next few sessions, we are going to be multiplying and dividing decimal numbers. And that we'll begin thinking about multiplying by powers of 10, like 1/10, 10, and 100. And so to practice that, we're going to do a quick little string here. And so remember, after I write each one, if you need more time than I'm giving, please make sure to pause the video so that you have time to kind of figure out it on your own. So if you can grab a piece of paper and a pencil so that you can follow along. Again, make sure to pause if you need more time to do that. And then I'll start right now. So our first question we have here is 1/2 times 10. Another way of saying this is, what is 1/2 of 10? And we know that is 5. Second question, we have 5/10 times 10. And 5/10, you might notice, is equivalent to 1/2, which then actually gives us the same answer. Also, if you remember from last week, or from the last episode, when I multiply by 10, I move the decimal point over to the right once, which then gives us the answer of 5. Question 3. What is 1/4 times 10? Or what is 1/4 of 10? The answer here is 2 5/10. You might notice that you can use this question here. If I have half of 10, that's 5, and I take half of that again, I get 2.5. So that is 1/4 of 10 is 2.5. Next question. 2/500 times 10. Again, if you remember from last time, you might think, well, if this is times 10, I move the decimal point over to the right. You could also think that 1/4 is the same as 2/500, and so the answer remains the same as 2 5/10. And lastly, we have 7/500 times 10. Again, same thing. You might move the decimal point over once to make this 7 5/10. You might also see a relationship between 1/4 of 10 is 2 5/10. And if you do that 3 times, I get 3/4, because this is the same, 7/500 is the same as 3/4. And so I can substitute that and have that thinking there. You could also take 2/500 times 10 and make that 3 times bigger to make 7/500, and you get 7 5/10. All right, so this is the first worksheet that you're going to go over, that you're going to have for this math exploration. I'm just going to do number 1 for you, and then you'll be in charge of doing number 2, and then the other page, and then there's a total of 4 worksheets. And just know that there will be on Schoology and on your parents' emails. So the question says, the post office sells 1-cent stamps. Fill out the table below to show how much it would cost to buy different quantities of 1-cent stamps. One stamp, the decimal equation is 1 times 1/100th, or 1 cent, which equals 1 cent. 1 times 1/100th is 1/100th, which is the money as 1 cent. 2 stamps is 2 times 1/100th, which equals 2/100ths, or 2 cents, which is right here. And 2 times 1/100th is 2/100ths. So if I have 10 stamps, I'll do 10 times 1/100th, which is 10 cents, or 10/100ths, which is another way of saying it. This would be 10 times 1/100th is 10/100ths, which gives me 10 cents. 20 stamps, this would be 20 times 1/100th, which is 20 cents. And 20 times 1/100th is 20/100ths, and that is 20 cents. 45 stamps. 45 times 1/100th is 45 cents. And here you might notice here, when I'm multiplying by 100th, there's an invisible decimal point here, and I move it over twice because this is a 100th, which is 100 times smaller, which gives us an answer of 45/100ths. And then 45 times 100th is 45/100ths, and that is the same as 45 cents. If I have 321 stamps, that's 321 times 100th. And again, there's an invisible decimal point after the 1, and I scoot it over 1, 2, twice, which gives us $3.21, or 3 21/100ths. 321 times 100th gives us 3 21/100ths. You could also write that as 321/100ths, and then that is $3.21. And then 404 times 100th gives us $4.04. 404 times 100th, I'm going to write it as 404/100ths, and that is $4.04. Again, it says, what do you notice about multiplying by 100th? You move the decimal point over twice. You move the decimal to the left, two times to make it 100 times smaller. And then you'll be in charge of doing this one. I'm just going to read the directions. It says, Amelia feeds her pet lizard crickets. The pet store sells crickets for 10 cents each. Fill out the table below to show how much it would cost to buy different quantities of crickets. One thing to know about the worksheet is that it'll be some from today's lesson and then some review from Tuesday's lesson. So if you forgot how to do some of the things in some of the later worksheets, I would go back to Tuesday's video and watch those.
All right, so up next we have student interviews, and like I said, it's a big chunk of today's episode, and so I hope you enjoy their answers, and I know that I did, so thank you all, everybody who participated. I'm going to make not as many as this week, but I will make some more interviews available next week, so just look out for that. I'll make the Sign Up Genius later today, and I'll send it out to parents as well.
I do my math at our kitchen counter.
I do at my desk where I'm right now in my room.
Awesome.
Well, I do it in the dining room, but I also do it in our yard.
Oh, nice. When it's a nice day out.
Yeah.
I typically do it on the couch
in my family room. And I do a lot of Zoom calls outside in this house thing that I have outside.
I usually do it in the kitchen table.
I usually do my math at the dining room table or on my bed. We have a little fold-out table, so sometimes I use that.
I do my math right here on this very messy desk, and my brother used to do math next to me, but now now the other side has become an art desk because he wants to do math somewhere else.
Well, I don't do my math at home most of the time because my dad has to go to work. So I said before, I go to either my aunt's or my dad's. So I usually do it in an upstairs room on a clipboard or on a folder.
Nice. That's cool.
I do my math on my dining room table. I do it in front of the window that you can see right there.
Oh, nice.
Right here, which is in my room on my desk. It's pretty comfortable.
Exactly where I'm sitting right now, which is in the dining room, because we have a pretty small house.
So I mostly do it in my dining room at my dining room table, and like I do like worksheets there, but like before today I use my dresser and I turn it into a desk by just like I put some pictures up and like I have a candle that I sometimes light and I just do most of my work there.
I do my math in the dining room right here.
Usually in the living room or in the dining room.
Living room or dining room?
I do it on the table or on this bed that I'm on right now.
Well, at my dad's, I usually do it in my room on my desk, and then at my mom's, I do it at the dining room table.
Okay.
My favorite part is when you tell us what the answer is for the explanation.
Probably when you show students doing the math.
My favorite part is probably the intro when your friend says, "Welcome to Mr. M's math test."
Yeah, he has a great voice.
The estimation 180.
Nice.
My favorite part is probably the estimation 180.
Awesome.
My favorite part of the math episodes is the beginning where we get to see the classroom, and also the parts where we get to see funny pictures of you and pictures of everybody else so we can see our friends.
Probably when we get to see all the pictures of other people.
Maybe the part where I get to see everybody's photos because I get to see how everyone's doing and just to see if like everybody's doing okay.
Yeah, that's good.
I like looking at I like the photo reels of funny pictures of you and people looking at the previous episode because I get to see all my friends and that's really nice.
I would say the pictures, not just the pictures of the students, because I get to see all the I get to see all the students that I haven't seen yet, and then I also get to see funny pictures of you, which always cheers me up.
I think the estimation 180s because that you get to see the things that are done by you and classmates. So that's pretty fun.
I like to see the other people doing the work because to me, like, it's nice to know that like somebody else is doing the same thing as me and that everybody's working just as hard.
Awesome.
I like the estimation 180. It's like the funnest part of it. Yeah.
Probably seeing the other people doing the math. Probably the beginning when the person is talking.
The British guy?
I really like the funny pictures of you at the beginning and seeing my other friends doing math too, so.
Cool.
I think you should add like a YouTube clip of something at the end.
Maybe for the future, I would say what would I say? Like make them like seeing kids like shorter, not like the long portion of it. So and get more of the math for that week and not the past week, so we can understand the next week better.
Okay. So cut the pictures shorter. Just a
Yeah.
little bit.
I have some. I don't really have some advice because you're doing them so well, and I don't really see anything you can work on.
All right. I appreciate that. Thanks, Benny.
I feel like you should try and do more Lego and or stop motion kind of estimation 180s.
Yeah, that's not up to me. You guys have to
Yeah.
count them. But yeah, those are really cool.
I think maybe when you're teaching a 5th grade thing or something that's not as a 4th grade standard, then maybe you should explain it a little bit more so that way the 4th graders can understand.
Nice. I got that advice last week as well.
Oh, well, when you do like BF Day Proudly Presents Mr. M's Math class, I liked it how at first it was BF Day Proudly Presents and then you open the door Mr. M's Math class.
Okay, so go back to how it used to be.
Yeah.
Maybe how long have you been doing the YouTube thing?
Since the beginning, so like since March.
Yeah. So maybe find a way to like when you say let's do this, maybe try and cut out like the last 2 seconds before the transition. Just saying, because it kind of makes it's just kind of access and it kind of makes the video a little too long.
Okay.
Well, I really like the scavenger hunt you did with the angles. I would really like it if you did more things like that. And then I would also really like pictures of your dog because I want to see your dog.
Okay, nice. I will comply.
I didn't really have any advice. I mean, I like the episodes as they are. They're short and cool, and yeah, just enjoy it the way it is.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
I don't really have any advice. I think that they're pretty good.
All right, thanks, Easy.
So in the last episode, Mateo was talking about the behind the scenes, and I think that would be really fun if you could do that. And if I was also thinking that maybe we could send in pictures of something that we want to share with like the whole group or something, and then we could add a caption about what it is, and then you could include it in the episode just to build community.
Cool.
There were a few times when we were watching the episodes that the same part like replayed over again. So maybe just edit that out maybe a little bit. But
when you're going through like the agenda of the video, it sometimes takes a little bit kind of time. So if you could do it a little bit better.
Maybe when there's like another like maybe on Memorial Day you could make like a video of you showing the room where you'd make the videos.
Do you want to see the rest of it? Okay. Yeah, a lot of kids have been asking for behind the scenes videos, so maybe I'll do that.
Well, I mean, you're doing really good. And I think, I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I mean, you're doing really great, so
I appreciate that. Thanks.
I can't really think of anything. So
I'm most proud of building things. Me and my dad are building a playhouse, and me and my brother are building forts.
Whoa, that's super cool.
I've been learning Python. Well, it's like Java, but it's a programming app. And I could do basically anything. Python.
Nice.
Python.
Well, I'm proud of because I've almost finished 5th grade math, and I've worked with my dad through it.
Nice. That's good.
Oh, that's a good question. I've been able to like organize just a bunch of stuff in like my room. My closet used to be really messy, and now there's like nothing in it, which is really nice because I don't like it when there's just a bunch of random stuff
Nice.
laying everywhere. So I've been able to organize stuff, and I just love how it feels so much more being in my room when it's organized.
What am I most proud of? I would have to feel like that I've been able to get through all of this math, like all of this homework over the several months of doing this.
Nice. Yeah, you've been doing great, which is awesome.
I'm really proud of my improvements on the piano, and I've read a lot of books.
How many books have you read? How many have you read?
I've read about 6 chapter books and about 3 really long books, like Harry Potter long books, but not Harry Potter.
Probably surviving and keeping up with all this school stuff. It gets really confusing online because it's all there.
During quarantine, I'm most proud of the fact that we're actually a little more into the schoolwork kind of thing, and how we get to spend more time with our families and grow connections with them that we didn't really get to grow before.
That's awesome. That's a really, really great thought.
Probably the food that I make. I started baking a lot. Like I just made a little while ago I made muffins with my mom and my friend.
Nice. That's awesome. That's really fun.
I mean, nothing really. It's just kind of sitting in your room doing nothing. But then one of the things I have made progress on is my video games, but that doesn't really count. So
Yeah, sure, that counts. I mean, you've gotten better. You've become more noob.
Less noob.
That's good.
I'm most proud of, well, at least the quilt that I made.
You made a quilt?
Mhm.
Nice. That's super cool.
So a couple days ago, my dad has this like a big Canon camera that's like really, it gets good at focusing, and I really have been wanting to do like something on my quarantine to-do list was to do a photo shoot. I didn't get to take many pictures of other family members, a couple of my brother, but mostly of the nature outside, and so they turned out actually really, really good. So I was happy about them.
Oh, so I also have a YouTube channel, and I've been making a heck of a lot more videos than normal. I have a bunch of free time, so
Cool. What are your videos about?
I do gaming channel, so.
Probably making a chocolate chip cake without a recipe.
And it turned out delicious?
The first time it did, and then I made one yesterday and it didn't work out because I had too much salt and water in it. What I'm most proud of is finding like things that I can do, and the other thing is that I'm most proud of is that some park fields are still open, so I can go there on sunny days and like ride around on my bike.
Oh, well, still being able to talk to my friends, because I didn't, like, for a while I thought I wasn't going to be able to, like, talk to my friends anymore because school is going to be closed for the rest of the year. And then, they told me about the Zoom meeting at 12 o'clock and stuff, and now I'm really proud of that, and now I can talk to my friends even though it's quarantine.
Yes. What is your favorite type of math to teach?
That's a good question. I actually really like teaching fractions because I think a lot of kids don't really like fractions when they come into math class, and I like trying to convince kids that they're actually pretty fun, and so that's what I think I like them most because they're not the most liked of math.
What have you been doing during quarantine?
I've been reading. I've been playing video games.
Same.
Right now, I'm playing Pokemon, the most recent one.
Nice.
I go on walks. We cook.
Nice.
We talk. We play dominoes.
Yeah,
to
same.
pass the time.
No.
All right.
One question that I have for you is, what have you been doing to keep yourself occupied during quarantine?
Yeah, well, a lot of it has been filming all the math videos for you guys and meeting with individual students, going to class meetings, meeting with other teachers, meeting with Mr. Jascott, meeting with Mr. Olegario and Ms. Noring. I've been playing some video games. I'm currently playing the latest Pokemon game. And I just got Smash Brothers, and so I'm gonna play that a little bit. I like reading comics. I go on walks. We watch TV.
Comics, yes.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Yes. For the estimation 180, how do you choose which one goes in the video? Is it just like more interesting or first come
I
first
just do
serve?
them in the order that I get them.
Okay.
What do you think about this? This weird.
Zoom thing or this whole online learning quarantine.
Yeah.
I miss teaching like in person. I don't like this as much. And the videos are new and I guess they'll be a little silly, but I miss being in person with kids. So that's the hardest part.
One of my questions is, are you and your fiance married yet?
No, we're not. We won't get married till next summer. So
Okay.
we luckily planned it for next summer, so we still have some time. So I know that a lot of our friends had to reschedule their wedding. Luckily, we didn't have to. So we're hoping that next year everything will be fine.
Yeah. And second question is, how do you edit your videos?
I edit it through a program called Video Editor on my laptop that the school district gave us, and so that's what I use.
Probably not. Not really.
I mean, not really. I mean, I have one question, and it's could you add book recommendations to your episodes?
Okay.
I guess that's kind of
Books that I am reading.
well, yeah. And then, I mean, I guess students could send in their books. I guess that was probably supposed to be what advice do you have for me for future episodes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to do during quarantine?
That's a good question. I think my favorite thing about quarantine is being able to sleep in.
Mommy, stop it.
I don't think so.
What's it like teaching from home without having much interaction?
It's a little heartbreaking, to be honest, Holland. I miss teaching in person and getting feedback from kids immediately. It's been hard to be away from everybody, and so I'm trying to think about ways to make it better next year, given that it's probably going to continue again. And so I'm having some thoughts around that, but I definitely miss. It's been hard to be away from everybody.
How many days in between do you make your videos? Do you make them once a week or once every 2 weeks or something like that?
I make them twice a week, so I work on them for 2 days, and then the other days is just me looking at work and meeting with other teachers.
No.
Okay.
No, not really, honestly.
All right, thank you so much for joining me in today's episode. Remember, I'm not going to go over the coloring sheet or Kenken, but they are going to be in the email and on Schoology, so make sure to do those. And then a reminder that the challenge of the week is due next Tuesday, and so make sure to turn that in before the deadline. Happy Memorial Day. I wish you're able to go outside. I hope that you're able to go outside and enjoy some of the sunlight. And yeah, as always, I continue to miss all of you, and so I hope that you're doing well and your families are well. So I'll see you next time. Goodbye.